What is up guys, and welcome to a new series where I use money making guides from the OSRS Wiki. If you guys enjoy this idea, I'll definitely make more and try to run through every single one of these on the list, no matter how ridiculous they might be. I'll be trying and testing out these money makers to see how accurate they are so you don't have to. Let's get into the video. So as always, for today's video we have a comment from one of our viewers, and it is turning clay into soft clay. Now it says that they've tried it and that they don't know how people are getting 1 mil GP an hour and 50k XP magic. So we will go ahead and try it out ourselves to see what we can do. Now it does say that we're only getting around 600k GP per hour, so maybe prices have changed. As with all moneymakers, the prices will fluctuate depending on the time of year and I guess how many people are doing them. Now, as for the gear setup for this moneymaker, all you will be needing is a whole bunch of astral ruins, a steam battle staff, and of course the clay that we will be turning into soft clay. There's also a couple things you can do to make this moneymaker go by faster, and one of them is to put bank fillers in the bank. This is so that you don't accidentally bank your astral ruins, and it really helps out with the speed of things, especially if you organize it to where the clay is close to the deposit all button, which you'll see me do here. We will fill up the bank with the bank fillers, and then we will move the soft clay and the clay icons one row down just so it's super close to the deposit all button, as you see here. This will allow us to bank quickly and get our clay back very quickly. Just make sure that you don't have a placeholder for the astral ruin so that when you deposit all, they don't all go into the spot that you have. For this moneymaker, we do need to be on the lunar spellbook, so I'll just be using my cape here to go to the lunar spellbook. You can also use the altar in, I believe it's Lunar Isle, or you can just use an altar that somebody has in their house on World 330. And that is pretty much all the steps you need to take for this moneymaker. Now all you do is withdraw the clay, you cast Humidify on the clay, and all at once, all 27 clay in your inventory will turn into soft clay that you can then bank, pull out more clay, and do it all over again. Now in the next few clips, I'll be showing you some nice little plugins that Lawliet has that can greatly reduce the time that it takes to do this. So if you don't already have Lawliet, I highly recommend getting it. It really helps out with moneymakers like this and just all kinds of other activities on RuneScape. So the plugin that I'll be using for this video is something called Inventory Viewer in Lawliet. And what this does is it shows you your inventory so that when you're on the spellbook tab and you are casting Humidify, you can see when the when the clay has turned into soft clay, and then you can click through the inventory screen and do it that way. Normally, when you cast Humidify, you have to wait until the soft clay turns, so you can either spam click the bank, or you can just keep switching between tabs, but I found that this method works very smoothly and very easily. Besides that, the only other plugin that I'm using is the camera zoom plugin, and what I'm doing with that is increasing the amount of zoom that I can do. It's called inner zoom limit, and what that does is it just allows me to zoom in even more than what the client allows. So I do that to get really close to the bank so that I can click faster and get more casts off while doing this moneymaker. So that's pretty much the entire method that we are going to be using for this moneymaker. It's not very AFK, it's kind of click intensive, but not so much that you'll like lose your sanity or anything. I mean, I've done some other moneymakers that have really questioned, what I'm doing with my life, but this one isn't that bad, especially for the, the money that you can make and the magic XP that you can gain. And then of course, like once you get into the rhythm of the clicks, it becomes really easy and really smooth. You can definitely get more casts off and make more money than I did during this video, especially if your clicks are a lot better than mine. I'm not the most efficient player by any means. And of course, the servers have been very laggy this past week, so that can also influence the amount of clay that we make. So just keep that in mind whenever you're going for this moneymaker and whenever you're seeing the end results. If you do plan on using this money-making method, I do recommend putting in a buy offer overnight, because the max buy limit on the clay is 13,000 every 4 hours. So just keep that in mind if you decide to go this route and use this moneymaker. And since you are putting a buy limit or a buy offer in overnight, you can even make more money if you put in a low offer. Of course, they won't all buy at once, but over time they will buy, and in the end you'll make more money. Now, aside from the Steam Battle Staff, the Clay, and the Astral Ruins that I said that you'll need for this moneymaker, you will also need to have completed the quest Dream Mentor, and that is to unlock the Lunar Spellbook. Humidify is on the Lunar Spellbook, and if you don't have that, well, then there's no doing this moneymaker, so make sure you have that done before you do this. Of course, you'll also need 68 magic to cast the spell Humidify, and besides that, that's really all you need to do this moneymaker. Now, you're probably wondering what soft clay is even used for, and I actually have a video, one of the OSRS Wiki money-making videos that shows what it's used for. It's the Arty tab video. I'll put a link in the description and maybe a card on screen so you can watch that if you're interested. But essentially, it's used for making the teletabs that people use for their everyday activities. It's used for all the teletabs on the normal spellbook. You can make Arduin teletabs, house teletabs, anything that's on the spellbook. And as always, I thought I'd provide a little update on the Twisted League account. I'm still AFKing on that account. I'm not really playing it too seriously. I think I just recently got 99 fletching, and I went back to woodcutting, and I'll probably do that until maybe 50 mil XP, and then maybe after some time I'll get back into it and decide to do some PVM or something, but for now I'm still AFKing on it. I kind of wish that Twisted Leagues would already be done just because I want to do some like bossing on my main, but I know I could just forget about Leagues and go ahead and do what I want to do, but I don't know, I feel like when Leagues is around, I'm missing out if I'm not participating, and even though I'm just AFKing, I feel like I'd be wasting XP, even though that doesn't really make sense since everything's going to be wiped at the end of the season. But as long as Twisted Leagues is out, I'll probably just focus on AFKing that, maybe playing it seriously, and then when it's over I'll probably get back to the grind and do some loot from boss videos. As of today, I'm pretty sure that we are currently in the Adamant Cup rank, or tier, league, whatever you want to call it. I did say before that I would like to get Dragon, I mean who wouldn't, but realistically we'll probably end up getting the Ruin Cup, which I'm okay with. I've definitely not grinded enough for the Dragon Cup, so the Ruin Cup would do just fine. I just have to make sure that I keep playing consistently and that I don't lose interest. I'm sure once I start grinding Slayer, it'll be a lot more interesting, especially once I unlock bosses like Hydra and stuff, so maybe that'll pique my interest whenever I go back to playing it seriously. But with that being said, we have reached the end of our 1 hour of turning clay into soft clay through the use of the Humidify spell. And here is the price check of the final loot. Just over 2 mil, not bad at all. And now we can go ahead and go to the GE, put it in there for whatever price we decide on, and we'll let it sit there for as long as it needs to. So just like I normally say with the buy offers, you know, putting in a low offer and just letting it sit there until it buys, we should do the same thing with these, put it in for a high offer, but I'm just going to put it in for the market price of 115 because the OS buddy is already saying that it's a lot lower than that. But I still should have checked to see how much I could get for it because half of them instantly sold. So when you're selling these, it might be a good idea to check the price of how much you can buy one for at its max price, and then put it in there and let it sit for a while. A big part of how much money you'll make from this is deciding on how much you want to sell them for and how long you want to wait on them. The prices of the clay and soft clay are always changing, so whenever you check the method on the OSRS Wiki, the price or the profit per hour might be totally different by now. And as you see, we just have over 2 mil worth of loot. So we actually made more money, I think, than the wiki said, while still casting less Humidify spells than the wiki says you can cast. So, and that's just because of the price of clay and how it's always changing, and depending on what price you get it at and what price you sell it at, you can make a lot more money than what the wiki says, even if you're not playing at max efficiency. But now we can go ahead and calculate how much money we actually made. So if we subtract the amount of money that we spent on supplies, which was 1,480,128 GP, from the amount of money that we made, which was 2,161,080 GP, we get a grand total profit of 680,952 coins. And now I'll go ahead and put a slide in from the wiki saying how much that it recommends or estimates that you'll make per hour. And you'll see that the inputs that show how much clay was turned into soft clay is actually higher than what we were able to do, and we still made more money than what it said. So again, like always, the moneymaker will always change depending on the price of the clay. Now, aside from that nice money that we made, we also made a total of 45,240 magic XP gained, so not a bad way to train magic and make money at the same time. It's also important to know that you can probably make more money than I did simply because right now the servers aren't at their best. They are lagging a lot, which does influence how much humidify spells you'll be able to cast off. And of course, if you have better clicks than I do and you are 100% focused on this moneymaker, you'll make more and you will also get more magic XP than I got. As always, I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you did enjoy, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even a subscription. It's completely free. I'm super close to 500 subs, so it'd be nice if we could hit it. I'm not sure if we get it during this video, but if we do, that'd be pretty awesome. But regardless, thanks for checking out the video. I will catch you in the next one.